Hello and welcome to i24 News Sports Daily Magazine with all the latest scores and stories from around the world. Wednesday evening with plenty of midweek football action, and these are the headlines. Real Madrid travels to Valladolid. A win means they can still dream of the championship. Anything else would mean another season for the Merengues without the Spanish title. Kevin Durant wins the MVP for the regular season in the NBA, and in a very emotional ceremony, he thanked the woman he sees as the real MVP, his mother. The tennis world pays tribute to Elena Balatcha, the former British #1 woman player who died at the age of 30 after a battle with liver cancer. And the city of Madrid gives the highest honor to Rafael Nadal. He's now an adopted son of Madrid. Maybe that will give him back his confidence ahead of Roland Garros. Hello again, and thank you for joining us. We are live from the Jaffa Port. As we mentioned, some delayed matches tonight will be played around Europe, with a few of them having direct implications on the title race. In Spain, Real Madrid will travel to Valladolid, with this game being crucial for both teams. Real Madrid needs the 3 points to keep their championship hopes still alive, while Valladolid needs them to keep clear of relegation zone. Gareth Bale will miss the game due to injury, and for the first time in over a year, Iker Casillas will play in a league match, part of the plan to keep him in shape for the Champions League final. Manager Carlo Ancelotti knows his team is favorite, but he knows he should expect serious opposition.
It will be a very important game for both teams because we are fighting for the league, they are fighting for the relegation, and so I think it will be a really tough game where every team try to do the best to try to win and to reach their aim.
Now to England, where Manchester City can make a very big step towards a second Premiership title in 3 years when they host Aston Villa. The title seemed to be lost for the citizens just a short time ago, but leaders Liverpool lost to Chelsea, and their match against Crystal Palace ended in a dramatic 3-3 draw, meaning that it's all up to Manchester City now. They need just 4 points from the remaining 2 games, both at home. But even if the championship is almost in their pocket, manager Manuel Pellegrini knows it's too early for celebrations, and as far as he's concerned, this is just another match.
Prepare exactly the same that we prepare all the games during the year. We know that the next game is the most important game. We are not going to win the Premier League if we win tomorrow. We must win tomorrow, and then we'll see what happens on Sunday.
So this will probably be one of the best seasons in the history of Manchester City. The upcoming championship will add to the League Cup they won in March. Across the road in Old Trafford, this will be a season to forget, but there still was an emotional moment last night for the Red Devils. Ryan Giggs, who is now the interim coach, gave himself 20 minutes on the pitch in United's match against Hull. Though there is no official word yet, this was probably Giggs' last match as a Manchester United player, and it was followed by a short ceremony in which the veteran player thanked the crowd for their support during the tough season and said he was sure the good days will be back soon. Now to France, where the championship will most probably be decided tonight. Paris Saint-Germain needs just a point in their home match against Rennes to secure their second successive championship. They did not enjoy the European success they were hoping for, but in France, PSG was in a league of its own. And though managers tend to be a bit cautious in these situations, Laurent Blanc already knows this will be a night for the team and the fans to celebrate.
It would be good for us to finish and win this championship tomorrow night, because there are not many games left, but also we are playing at home. We play in front of our supporters, and our supporters have supported us throughout the season.
PSG may even win the championship before their match begins. That is if Monaco fails to win in the earlier match. The Riviera Millionaires will face Guingamp, and unless they win, the championship race will be over just as the game in Paris begins. The big news coming out of Monaco concerned manager Claudio Ranieri. The club announced that the Italian will leave at the end of the season despite holding a contract for 1 more season. This is a clear signal by the club dignitaries of their disappointment from the season. Monaco will finish it with no trophies, and despite being second in the league, they never pose a real threat to PSG at the top. Now to Bordeaux, who will finish a solid season, probably at 7th place, and all eyes are now on what comes ahead. The club displayed their new jerseys for the 2014-2015 season, but these were far from being the biggest news in the southwestern French city. Rumors in France say Zinedine Zidane is the hottest name to replace Francis Gillot as head manager. Bordeaux was the place where Zizou rose to glory back in the early 90s before moving to Juventus, and the club would love to see one of its favorite sons return, this time as manager. Zidane is currently the assistant manager of Carlo Ancelotti in Real Madrid, and other rumors in France and in Italy say he may join Inter, Milan or Monaco. Now we turn our attention to the World Cup, which is just around the corner. Argentina's hopes are all on the shoulders of Leo Messi. Today he's seen by many as the best player in the world, loved and adored by many around the world, not only in Barcelona and Argentina. But it was not always easy. In his childhood, Messi was extremely short, maybe even too short to become a professional football player, but everything changed thanks to a hormonal treatment, allowing him to become the superstar he is today.
Lionel Messi, the captain of Argentina's national football team, is already a legend at age 27. But his road to glory has been paved with hardships. When he was 9, the football-loving youngster from Rosario measured just 1.27 meters, the average height of a child 2 years younger than him.
I remember this child who was so small, so tiny, that he needed to be hugged because he was very shy.
After many medical tests, Dr. Diego Schwarzstein diagnosed Messi with a growth hormone deficiency, a condition that could have been fatal for Messi's burgeoning football dreams. But the endocrinologist remembers a child who never gave up.
He was always asking if he was going to grow so he could play football, and I would tell him that he was going to be taller than Maradona, and that I didn't know if he was going to play better, but yes, he would be taller.
And he turned out to be right. After years of expensive hormonal injections, first paid for by Messi's father's insurance and then by the Spanish club FC Barcelona, which Messi joined as a teenager, he now stands at 1.67 meters, and that's 2 centimeters taller than Diego Maradona, the other Argentine football legend.
He knew that he was small and that meant certain drawbacks in sport. Usually when kids grow up, they care about being tall because of the looks or for the girls, but he wanted to play football.
Messi was born into a poor family in this house in Rosario, Argentina's third biggest city. His father was a factory steel worker and his mother a part-time cleaner. He started playing football when he was 5 and quickly showed impressive skills.
He was devilishly good with the ball. He had it tied to him. He had such speed and those short strides. He easily went past other players.
Lionel Messi is now Barcelona's all-time top scorer and the first player in history to win 4 FIFA Ballon d'Or awards. At this summer's World Cup, he will carry Argentina's dream of winning the sport's most prestigious tournament on their own continent.
Now to tennis and to the Madrid Open, part of the clay season in preparation for the French Open. It was surprisingly hard for 5th seed David Ferrer. He faced his countryman Albert Ramos in the second round, and only after a grueling match going to 3 sets, Ferrer wins 7-6, 5-7 and 6-3 to make his way to the third round. Kei Nishikori, the newly crowned Barcelona champion, faced local player Guillermo Garcia Lopez and easily cruised to the third round following a 6-3, 6-1 victory. Nishikori will now face Milos Raonic, the Canadian also winning in straight sets 6-3, 6-3 against French Jérémy Chardy. The Nishikori-Raonic match coming up, certainly one to look for. This tournament is of course a big test for defending champion Rafael Nadal. After a series of upsets, he wants to show he's still the king of clay, just ahead of Roland Garros. Maybe in the hope of giving him some extra confidence, the world #1 was made an adopted son of the city of Madrid in a ceremony held in the Spanish capital. The honor was given by the Madrid mayor at the Palacio de los Cibeles, the Madrid town hall. Declaring someone as the adopted son or daughter is the highest award which Madrid City Hall can award. Previous recipients of the distinction include Spain's king, Juan Carlos, and Peruvian author and Nobel Prize winner, Mario Vargas Llosa. Congo is not known for its big tennis tournaments. Now maybe that is up for a change. The capital Kinshasa was the venue for a tennis legend tour involving some big former names, mainly from France. Guy Forget, Henri Leconte, and Yannick Noah, among others, were present. The main goals the organizers set is for the country and the city to be known worldwide as a global destination. The foreign visitors, along with local Congolese players, will take part in a show which will feature 2 exhibition matches, 2 tennis clinic sessions, and a gala evening. There are also sad news for the tennis world, who is mourning the death of the former British #1 woman player Elena Balatcha, who died this weekend. Merav Savir reports.
The tennis world mourns the death of one of their own this week. Ukrainian-born British player Elena Balatcha passed away on Sunday after a short battle with liver cancer. She was just 30 years old. Players held a moment of silence for their fellow tennis star during the Madrid Open on Monday, and both friends and foes on the court remembered Bali with great fondness.
The thing that I remember most about Bali was how much she loved the sport and how much she knew that she wanted to use her gifts for others. She would just light up when I'd speak to her about her academy. That was her dream.
She was always a fighter. She gave it all she had. You know, she was such a fun person to be around. And my condolences and, you know, thoughts go out to her family and friends who, you know, have a horrible time at the moment.
Bali, we're all thinking of you. Obviously, very sad news to hear what has just happened. Just want to say to your family, to your husband, I can only imagine how hard this is for everybody who loved you. So you're going to be very dearly missed.
Balatcha ranked as the British #1 for over 2 years and reached her highest singles ranking, 49, back in September 2010. Bali won 11 singles titles and competed at the London Olympics just 2 summers ago. The top 50 retired from the tour at the end of 2013 because of persistent knee injuries. This past December, she married her longtime coach, Nino Severino, and just a month later, she was diagnosed with cancer. But her memory will live on, not just with fellow players, but with the academy she set up for young players in Ipswich.
Well, I think she was an inspirational character in many ways, so it's not just her playing, but also what she was doing off the court. So she had a huge influence. She's got a lovely academy down in Ipswich. She has been inspirational to a lot of the young, particularly girls coming through, who could see that someone that had been in the top 50. So a great loss.
A previously announced fundraising series named Rally for Bali and featuring players such as Andy Murray will still be played in June and will now be in her memory. The proceeds will go to the Elena Balatcha Academy of Tennis and the Royal Marsden Cancer Charity.
Now to the NBA, with the conference semifinals already in progress. San Antonio had to struggle to go past the Mavericks in the first round. What will it look like for the Spurs against Portland in the semis? Well, if Game 1 is any indication, the Spurs are on the way to the finals. He scored the first 8 points of the game. Portland's coach, Jerry Stotts, had no choice but to take a timeout. Did it help? Not really. Still in the first quarter, and even when the Spurs missed their first of the rebound, timeout again, but no real change again. San Antonio was simply better throughout the evening. They led by 26 at the break. The second half was one long garbage time. The Spurs win Game 1, 116-92, on a night Portland would love to forget. Game 2 is Thursday night, again in San Antonio. And are we on the way to a repeat of the 2013 NBA Finals? The Heat also easily won Game 1 of their semifinal, beating the Nets 107-86. The two home teams won last night, but the two visiting teams won the night before. The Clippers did it in Oklahoma City and are now 1-0 up in that series. Same story for the Wizards after winning in Indiana. So the Thunder are in trouble in their series against the Clippers, but there was some good news last night in Oklahoma. Kevin Durant was announced as the MVP for the regular season. KD led the Thunder to second in the very strong Western Conference with a 59-23 record, an incredible accomplishment considering the fact that nearly half the season Russell Westbrook was out. Durant won the NBA scoring title for the 4th time in 5 seasons, averaging 32 points, along with a career-high 5.5 assists. But if you ask him, it's someone else who deserves the title, his mother.
We wasn't supposed to be here. You made us believe. You kept us off the street, put clothes on our backs, food on the table. When you didn't eat, you made sure we ate. You went to sleep hungry. You sacrificed for us. You the real MVP.
And now to the first round of the kitesurfing world season in Austria. American Brian Lake won the title last year, and it seems like the break did not stop him at all. Lake was again the dominant force in this race, coming in first. It was a different story in the women's race. World champion Christine Bonninger came in second, losing to Katja Roos from the Netherlands. The next round will be held next month in Egypt. And that's it for us today. Don't forget, you can watch us anytime on our website at i24news.tv. We're also on Facebook and on Twitter. We'll be here again tomorrow, same time, same place. Have a beautiful day.